It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new year. So that means we need to look back one day to 2023 at absolutely everything that I watched. So it's all the 2023 releases that I watched, all of the movies I watched for the first time that year but it didn't come out in 2023, and all of the TV shows I watched. And for the people who love stats, we're going to be ranking 131 projects, which includes 33 2023 releases, 63 films I watched for the first time, and then 34 TV shows. And this may be a long video, so grab a drink, grab a snack, treat it as a podcast and get your washing done. But let's get on with the first one, which is Megan. And honestly, I have a reaction on my channel of this, and this movie didn't disappoint. The trailer set it up for exactly what this film is, but I'm putting it in the cinema. Oh, the film was so crazy. I loved it. And Great Stays. This is a British gem. Did it get released anywhere else? It was only in British cinemas, or at least my cinema, for a week. Maybe not even a week. But honestly, I really liked it. I've watched it like 2 times since watching it in cinema, because I did watch the theatre show and I really liked the theatre show and I really liked this. It made me cry towards the end. And I'm going to put in almost but John Wick franchise. Why am I getting controversial right at the beginning? No, I really like it. I'm going to rank them all as like one thing. John Wick 1 is really good, and in my opinion I think it's probably the best John Wick film, but my favourite one is the third one. I don't know why, but I just really loved the scene with Halle Berry and her dogs. They were a great addition and I wish she was in it longer. I'm going to put the first John Wick in cinema, why not? And I'm never going to revisit these films again. I liked watching them for the first time, but I'm not someone who likes action and literally non-stop action, which is what they are, and they are really great action scenes, but they do go on for a little bit too long in my opinion. But The Princess, again, was non-stop action, but nothing happened. And then we have 4, which is okay, I guess. It was a good film. I watched it with like all my sisters and my mom, and it was like, oh, this is quite intense. But we could kind of guess where some things were going. Valerie, I can't even say the film. And I think it's longer than just Valorant. I don't know what this film is. It's white noise. It's not unwatchable. I did watch it. I did laugh at a few things. I think Rihanna's in this, and whatever character she was, I was like, why is Rihanna in this? But I thought it was quite funny. So. And then First Wives Club. It's okay, I guess. I was rooting for them to like kill them or something, like to get back at the husbands that deceived them, but then they just like took it on their chin, took it as their own and made something great out of it. And so I liked it for that. We Broke Up. Why did I watch this? Can't tell you what it's about. It's about a couple that breaks up when they go to a wedding, but they have to pretend that they're not broken up. Nothing happens in this film. The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal, which I think is okay, I guess. And he carried the film, because the film itself, I wasn't into it. Again with Jake Gyllenhaal, but this time with Hugh Jackman. Prisoners. It's a good film, but it went on for way too long, and I guessed how everything was going like halfway through, and it just kept going on and kind of repeating the same thing. Then The Woman in the Window. Why did I watch this? Top Gun. White noise. Didn't enjoy it. I thought nothing on it. I just really wanted to watch Top Gun Maverick because everyone and their mother was raving about it, and so I really wanted to watch it. And even people said you don't need to watch the first Top Gun, but I was just like, I've got a spare minute, let me just watch the first Top Gun. I didn't like it. It was so boring. I felt nothing of it. And even though like Top Gun Maverick is like the same film, there was so much emotion in it. It was so good. I was crying. Like, not even that it was sad. There was moments to be sad, of course, but I was just feeling the emotion, not from the sadness, but just how epic the film was. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but Top Gun Maverick is the first film going in my favourite tier. I have a reaction on this film. Honestly, it blew my mind. And the more I think about it, it's just like, how is a film like this reaching into my soul like that? It was just so epic that it made me cry because it was so good. A franchise that I absolutely love, that like kickstarted my DreamWorks journey and I didn't get back to, but in the new year DreamWorks journey is coming back where I'm watching more DreamWorks films, but that is of course Kung Fu Panda, and there is a 4th film coming out. I don't know if it's coming out in 2024 or 2025, but I will be back in the seat for a reaction for that because the first 3 films, absolutely love it. Kung Fu Panda, I debate whether the first or second one is my favourite, but I think I'm going to just put them all. No, actually, I'm going to put the first 2 in cinema because they are absolute cinema. But I'll put the 3rd one in almost but. I think they're all great films, but I just think, I don't know, because it just made me feel so sad for Mr. Ping that I can't put it in cinema, even though cinema makes me sad. Let's go for Love, Wedding, Repeat. And I will never be repeating that experience because the film was so bad. And then Vivo. So boring. So boring. And if you want some wholesomeness in your life, watch Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. And I feel like I need a middle tier between Almost But It's Okay, like a good tier. I'm gonna put it in It's Okay, I guess, because the film can be just a little boring, because it's literally just about Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris because she wants a dress, and there's some people like, no, you don't fit in here, we're not giving you a dress. But then other people are like, we love you, we're gonna give you a dress. And so I like that it's wholesomeness, but I feel like the story isn't, you know, like it's not like a massive like arc of a story. Speaking of a massive arc of a story, let's get a little bit saucy here and go for 50 Shades Darker, which is the second film in 50 Shades of Grey. I watched the first one like many years ago and I just couldn't. I was so annoyed because the second two films were never on anything, and then all three of them was finally on Prime at one time. I was like, let's finally watch the 50 Shades series. The first film, absolutely disappointing. Second film, 50 Shades Darker, absolutely disappointing. 50 Shades 3, the final film in this lovely trilogy of sauciness. So it went so wild. Like, I thought these films were just about two people that get in like a dominant sex relationship or whatever. It goes places I didn't think it would go, and I don't know if I want to spoil it, but I am going to spoil the final film, so I'll put a little spoiler warning up for people who don't want 50 Shades spoiled for them. But it turns into like a kidnapping, heist, shooting people. It obviously doesn't get that extreme. It's one kidnapping and it's like one little heist bit and then one shooting. But it just went so weird. So weird. But let's just go past that. The Outlaws, White Noise, it's okay. It was a little bit funny, but it wasn't as like good as I thought it was gonna be. Choose Love, I'll put that in White Noise again, even though you can't really have this on in the background because it's a interactive story where you need to choose answers. None of the options were good, and I didn't care who she ended up with. Me and my sisters did it all together, and we just like went back to like the final choice to change who it was and see what the outcome would be, but it just wasn't good. The Voyeurs took such a twist. I don't think I read the description of this film, or the film wasn't described perfectly, or they wanted to leave it all suspense because it went weird. Vacation Friends 2, so boring. The first one I liked, the second one, no, never gonna watch that again, sorry. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Why did I watch it? The first one's good, the second one, I feel like they just made it to do the second one. I can't even remember what happens in it. Luckiest Girl Alive, White Noise. I won't watch it again, but you can just put it on in the background. I could see where it was going and they just took a while to get there. Voyagers, I think this is actually, it's okay, I guess. I like the story, but I feel like once the story got interesting, they then ended the film, and so I feel like it could have been done so much better towards the end. Terms of Endearment, this is an old one. I'll just put it on. I actually watched this as White Noise film, but it made me cry towards the end, and I don't want to say like why. It just follows the story of a mother and daughter relationship, and it did make me cry towards the end. And then P.S. I Love You. Why did I watch this? I think some people do like this film. That sounds so bad. I think some people like this film. I didn't like this film because it's about her dead husband, whatever, like leaving notes, like leaving things behind for like her to like revisit that place and then move on with her life. And then how it ends, I'm like, your husband just did this whole thing and you've moved on your life in that way, which seems like so quickly or so abrupt with the goodbying adventure. Then True Grit. It's okay. I really like Hayley Steinfeld in it, and she is so young, but she was so good in this film that I want to applaud her. Zoolander. Cinema. No. I know some people like silly films like this, and I've watched many Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson's silly films like this. The first one is better than the second one. Actually, no, I'm not putting it in. Like, they're just the same silliness that I just need to do that. And then The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. This is a lovely Halloween film I watched. It's a Nickelodeon original channel movie, and they didn't have that many of them compared to Disney Channel. But, you know, if it was on TV, I would watch it. for Halloween, but just background white noise. Red, white and royal blue. Oh, what? This is so good. I sound sarcastic, but it's not. This is, if I was my sister Maisie, this would be her favourite film of the year. She literally watched it every single day for a week. I feel like that's an exaggeration, but also not at the same time. And it's just fun. It's just love. It makes you want to cry, but it's all in good fun. And another thing that makes you want to cry all in good fun, Elemental. I'm one of those people. I'm Wade. I'm Wade in disguise, but I also want to be with Wade. You know the saying where it's like, I don't know if I want to be this person or be with this person. The answer is yes when it comes to Wade. Not that I want to be Wade, but it's that I am Wade already. I love this film. I have a reaction on it and I cried. In good old Pixar fashion, it's continued the streak of making me cry. So it's a favourite from me. And something that should have been a favourite but isn't, The Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie on Netflix that came out this year. I don't know if I want to be really harsh on it or if I want to go easy on it, because Miraculous is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. But I'll put it in It's Okay, I guess. Oh goodness, it's good, but then they're singing. It's a musical. I don't know if it was advertised as a musical, but saying that, I didn't watch any advertisement for it, only that I knew it was coming out. And anything Miraculous that comes out, I'm gonna watch it. But it literally gave us everything we've ever wanted. So I'm moving it up. It gave us, I'm not spoiling Miraculous for you. If you want to watch Miraculous, watch it. You won't be upset. You won't be disappointed. But everything the fans have been wanting happened. They gave us all of it in one film. Totally killer cinema. Favourite 80s slasher film. I made a video on this as well. I loved it. I love Kiernan Shipka and I will show up for anything she's in, and it's a slasher film, giving me the 80s vibes, and that's just my favourite thing. It's a horror comedy slasher film. There you go. You got me. That, Scream, and then like the Happy Death Day films, perfect and freaky. Perfect films. Let's speak about another slasher, and honestly this film is getting so tarnished and so tainted with whatever the hell, I don't know, who is it, Spyglass? Why are you ruining Scream for me? I've just become a fan. I've been a fan of the Scream franchise for over a year now, and I love this. I said this was the perfect sequel. I know loads of people love Scream 2, and the more I think about that, I've only actually seen that film once, but all the other films at least twice. Scream 6 actually 3 times, and I think the first film 3 times as well. So I feel like it is bad that I've only seen Scream 2 once, and that's why I think this one is the best sequel, because you know Scream 5 is a reboot sequel. Anyway, they're gonna, if they're continuing Scream, they're gonna reboot it because they fired Melissa. The actor for Sam, the actor for Tara quit, Jenna Ortega. The director, I think, has now quit, so Scream 7 is no more. At least the version that we was gonna get from Scream 6 is no more. So I'm gonna put it in cinema. I feel like I need to watch it again to just forget all that news and go in that. And it's really annoying, and nothing, I'm never emotional about like the film politics because I've never been that attached to anything. And I'm not saying that I'm like so ultra attached I can't function with my life with the Scream franchise, but that has actually annoyed me because I really liked it, and the reason behind it all was just stupid, and that's the only word I can use to describe it. Everything that's gone on behind it is stupid. Anyway, let's move on with, since I'm getting emotional over that with anger, let's go for emotional for sadness, because why not? And let's go for Guardians 3, which is cinema. And I'm trying to think back to everything Marvel that's come out this year, Marvel MCU, and I think Guardians 3 is my favourite thing. So I should go in my favourites, right? But we might come back to it. But Guardians 3 made me laugh, made me cry, made me feel angry, but not to the extent that all the drama behind Scream 7. No, but it was a great send-off for the Guardians. Everyone's goodbye made me cry. And the final scene, because it was so good and so heartfelt, it made me cry again. So if you've gone off Marvel, come back to revisit Guardians 3 because it's a great film. Let's do some great news about a bad thing. Riverdale season 7, it's over! Anyone who stuck through Riverdale from season 1 to season 7, I need to applaud you. And I accidentally dropped it in Why Did I Watch This? That's how I felt. Why did I stick through it? Honestly, it's such a bad thing, but it's such pure I want to say serotonin. No, it's such pure fun. It's such happiness, which is serotonin. No, I'm going to put it in white noise because, yeah, I did put it on to fall asleep. But the first season, you know, was just a good show, a good season. It was normal. Second season, again, I would say it was normal. It kind of followed from the first one. I don't know when it switched. Even though this happened probably in like season 3 or season 4, whenever, what's his name? Edgar? The guy who owned the farm. If you ain't seen Riverdale, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But whenever he was trying to fly off in a rocket, that was my, I know there's been so many weird things since then, but that was the thing that just has cemented, that's the thing that's just lasted with me this whole time. It's fun and it's good, but the last season was terrible. It's not even the same characters that we've been with this whole show. They've like rebooted the characters like 3 times or whatever. They were like 20, I want to say they're 30-year-olds. They were like 25 whatever, playing like 14-year-olds in like the first couple of seasons. Then it time jumped to them actually like playing their age, their real life age in the show. And then for the final season they threw them back into the 50s or whatever, and they're playing teenagers again. They're like 28 at this point, playing 16-year-olds again. They finished the show with the characters we haven't even been with the whole time because they didn't know their whole life, and then they knew it again. I can't talk about Riverdale anymore. So I'm gonna go on to some really great shows. Feel Good. Oh my god, it's my favourite show. There's only 2 seasons. I want more of it. I love them. It's so funny. It frustrates me because I just want life to be easy. But I love them. Sex Life of College Girls isn't my favourite. It is my favourite. I laugh out loud every single episode. Why am I hesitating? It's not my favourite. These 4 girls are so funny. I love each single one. I think for season 3, Renee Rapp, who plays Leighton, isn't gonna be in it as much because, you know, she's gone off pursuing a music career. So I feel like she's gonna be in a few episodes here and there. But I think it was said that she's not gonna be in it as much, which I hate because I love them all. Even though I think Kimberly might be my favourite because she's just so weird. She's such a weird one, but I love them all. And then there's some shows that I'm just watching to like just continue watching because I watch them with someone, or I watch them and I talk to it about someone, and so that's the only reason why I'm still watching them. And I hate it to a point where I don't want to watch this show anymore. So Outer Banks season 3. It's white noise. It's every single season is literally the same thing. I think the first season is the best one. I hate this because the first 2 seasons is the whole gang being together, and at this they're split up into like 3 different groups, and I think like some of the dynamics are split up as well in those groups, and I just hate it. I don't like it. I'm just watching it because I watch it with my sibling and I hate it. I watched you and I hate it. I hate you. I can't say that. I love you. At this point it is a why did I watch this, because the first season was good. I would have been so happy if it ended at the first season, but then we got Love in the second season. We got Love and 40. 40's a great guy. Love, I absolutely love her. And so I was thankful for a season 2. With how season 3 ended, I hate it. End this show. Then they gave us season 4. And okay, it was set in London. You're trying to get me to come back to watch you. But I hate it. Joe just needs to end. He just needs to stop. I'm getting really heated. And I know you're just gonna be like, just don't watch it. I have to. At this point, I think the 5th season is the final season. And it does have, I think her name is Charlotte Ritchie in it, who is also in Feel Good. And I love her in that. I love everything that I've seen her in. And so I will now watch it for her. I watched season 3 for Love. And now I'm watching season 5 for, I don't even know her name in it. But he can't keep getting away with this. And then another thing when I am just watching to just watch, Ginny and Georgia. I'm going to put it in white. Actually, I really like Georgia, but I can't stand Ginny. She has her reasons to behave like how she behaves, but if she understood Georgia the way I understand Georgia, I'm actually going to put it in okay, I guess. I live for the drama between them, and I live for Georgia. I love her. Never Have I Ever. I liked the first, I don't know how many seasons there is. I think there's 4. I liked the start of the show. I didn't like the end of the show. EXO Kitty. It was a slow build, but this is my favourite thing from like the All the Boys franchise, cinematic universe. I'm gonna put in Almost But. I love Kitty, you know, I think she's so much fun. I love where like it ended. I don't want to spoil the show because I think if you like the films, then you should watch this show. Emily in Paris, I am now just watching it just to watch it. It's just getting worse and worse with each season. I don't even care about who she ends up with. I just hate the British guy, and I feel like I should rep British people, but he's so annoying. Is his name Alfie? He just seems so aggressive and abrupt with everyone. He has a right to be, because Emily's just leading him on, because she's going to end up with Gravy Oil. It was set up from the beginning. And then Secret Invasion. Oh my god. I need a tear underneath why did I watch this to just, why does it exist? It was such a bad, I feel like the way I feel about the show is the way I feel about For Love and Thunder, where it was just so bad. There was like 1 or 2 seconds of great entertainment, but the show had nowhere it's going. The last like 5 minutes of the final episode of Secret Invasion, that's what the whole show should have been. The first episode was actually good, I'll give it that. I liked the whole little scene with Martin Freeman. What they did with Maria Hill, I will never forgive you. But with how they ended the show was a great setup for how the whole show should have been. I haven't seen the Marvels, so I don't know how that links into that. Maybe it goes really well. But I don't think it does, because they're polar opposite genres. And then Black Mirror, I can't, I'm going to put it in It's Okay, I guess, because I haven't finished it. I started watching it with one of my sisters. We got up to season 3 or season 4, and we're just 1 episode off finishing that season, and then I think there's season 5 and season 6, which we haven't gotten through yet. And so there are some really good episodes. I think I had seen the first season before, and I just rewatched that. My favourite one is the San Andreas, I think it's called. I love that. I love anything gay. You can see how I rank some of these things. Speaking of, Heartstopper, cinema. But something that happens with Nick himself, but also Nick and his family, as well as what happens with Charlie and himself. Oh, I love it. I don't want to get emotional right now, so let's pop over. So let's go for Smile. There's a reactions with the siblings on the channel. It was so good until the reveal of the monster. And then Liar Liar Vampire. I haven't been on that. I started playing it because I was just like, oh, I don't know, it's just like a little kids film, let's just watch it. And the only reason why I watched all of it is because they kept making references to Twilight, and it was just making me laugh so much with how stupid it was. But I would never watch it again. Friday the 13th. I don't know how you're going to fall asleep to a horror film, but I could if it was this one. Oh, that sounds so mean. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. And I don't know if this is like the best Friday the 13th film. I don't know if the Friday the 13th franchise are really great films. I'm not in all that discourse, so I don't know. I have no interest in watching any more. And I was only interested in watching the first one because I watched it on Friday the 13th. I felt like I only had so many opportunities come around. And it would have been a while until my next one. And then Crim Cutty. I only watched this because of my sibling, because Theo said to watch it. I didn't want to watch it, and I watched it, and it was interesting. I would never watch it again, and it was stupid at the same time, because the whole thing is like this internet thing, and it was like, oh, actually, now that I've actually remembered what the film is, I'm putting it up higher. It's about like this internet thing, like it gets passed through like the internet or whatever. It attacks kids because it's based on like the parents' fear, so however much the parents fear this thing, it then like goes after the kids, and like when the parents stop being afraid, it stops. And now that I've remembered it, like, that's actually quite good. But I originally put in why did I watch this, because of only kids can see it, no one else can see it, and so when it attacks the kids, it looks as if like the kids have harmed themselves. But there's a scene where the girl's literally being held up against the wall and she's hovering or whatever. She's not doing that herself. But they're still like, oh no, she's trying to hurt herself. She's not. There's a demon holding her. 2 films back to back, Terrifier and Terrifier 2. Here's a little surprise for you. I actually filmed reactions to these, but I didn't get around to editing it for Halloween. So for 2024, expect a Terrifier reaction to both films back to back in one video. Do I rank them? Because it gives out my spoilers. And then Witches of Eastwick, which was a film I watched with my nan. Sorry, nan. We all watched it together. Like, my parents were out, whatever, so like all the siblings and my nan watched this film because we had like a little movie night, whatever. And we were going to watch this film, and she was like, "Can you skip it? Can you skip it forward? We can skip all this?" Because she just wanted to get to one specific scene, which was near the end. And we all enjoyed that ending scene. And we all said, oh yeah, we should have just skipped it till that point. And then Jennifer's Body, again, I feel like I need that tier between these two. It is good, but it's not almost cinema. It's not almost, but it is good and it is funny. Haunting in Venice, I watched this in the cinema. I fell asleep. I feel like that's nothing to say about the film because I've enjoyed like all these 3 Agatha Christie films. I think A Haunting in Venice is probably my least favourite one out of the 3. It probably goes A Murder on Orient Express, definitely not, then A Haunting in Venice. And I liked it. It was scary, but the reveal, I don't know. Because I was going to say these are like based on real things, so it can't be like paranormal. There can't be actually something there haunting. So I'm going to put it in it. It's okay, I guess. And then Haunted Mansion, I actually really enjoyed it. It's not, see, I need that tier between them. It's not almost cinema, but it's definitely better than It's Okay, I guess. I was really entertained for the whole film. I don't know if it's my favourite like iteration of Haunted Mansion. I used to every year watch the Eddie Murphy one, but I didn't this year. And then Five Nights at Freddy's. It's okay, I guess. I'm happy with that tier because I was entertained. I was a little bored. I wanted more animatronic mayhem. I like the final scene. I needed more of that. We just kept going back and back and back to Josh Hutcherson's dream. I can't remember his name. Mike? Is that his name? We kept going back to his dream. It was really repetitive. I just wanted more animatronic mayhem. I just wanted more. And the reveal at the end, that should have come sooner and then we could have got more of that. But I guess that it had to build the lore of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise lore. Murder Mystery 2. It's okay, I guess. I really liked the first one. My whole family watched the first one, then my whole family watched the second one. I like both of these films. I like Adam Sandler films. I like Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston films. So I'm going to enjoy the film. And now let's revisit my childhood with some TV shows. Zoe 101. It's fine. I actually quite hate Zoe. She's the main character, but I don't want her to be. Quinn's the main character. And I watched that because Zoe 102 film came out. I'll give it white noise. It's alright. Again, I don't care that much about Zoe and Chase. And then Big Time Rush. The first 2 seasons are good, rest is not. But True Jackson VP, oh my god, get up there. Anything Keke Palmer is in, I absolutely love her. And whenever she's just like kind of being herself in something, I love it. Even though she can act, I just love herself. I love all the interviews I've seen her in. Have you seen her Chicken Shop date? Or her Hot Ones? I love her. And on to iCarly, but the reboot show that's got cancelled. This is why I don't tend to watch shows, because they just always get cancelled, so what's the point in watching them in the first place? You know, why start something and love it and not get another season of it? I'm looking at you, Teenage Bounty Hunters. You left it on a cliffhanger as well. Anyway, the reboot, I actually really liked it, and I actually do think I like it more than the original. I don't know if that's an opinion other people hold, but I do. Fairly Odd Parents, yes, I stuck through all like 10 seasons. I don't know why. Your Christmas or Mine Too, watched that with the fam because we watched the first one with the fam. It's good. I think I prefer the first one just because they are like more together, like one with one family more together and then the other with the other family more together, and this one just all felt a little bit split, but it was funny. And then Family Switch, it's another body switcher film and it's good. I liked it. Wonka, and I only watched it a couple days ago, and when I first finished the film, I watched this film in cinema, when I first finished watching it I was like, because it was such a pain to plan it for all of us to go, and not all of us ended up going anyway, but like at that point I was like, I don't even want to watch this film anymore. It's such agony, such torture trying to plan it. But I finally watched it and I was like, oh, this wasn't even worth waiting for. This was such a bad film. But then yesterday I was dancing around my kitchen, went to my sibling's house, dancing around the kitchen with my niece. We were singing the song, There's Chocolate, and there's chocolate. And I was literally like skipping, you know, like I was like Oliver Twist skipping. It grew on me. I love it. I want to watch it again, not in cinema. When it comes to streaming for free, I want to watch it again. And it is cinema. On an actual serious note, a film that has become my favourite. Did I include it here? I did. Klaus. Oh my god, spoiler alert. I also filmed a reaction to Klaus, which I didn't get around editing it to upload it for a Christmas reaction. So that's saved for the new year. That's saved for 2024 Christmas. And spoiler alert, I cried. And I'm telling everyone I know to watch it for Christmas if you haven't watched it yet. So if you haven't watched it yet, watch Klaus. In other films, Avatar is okay, but Avatar Way of Water is almost fun. I do prefer it to the first Avatar. I think it is, I'm gonna say it's not way longer because they're both really long films and these films don't need to be that long, but Avatar 2 really does have, actually, the first Avatar film did make me tear up, at least. I don't know if I fully cried, but Avatar The Way of Water did make me fully cry. I have reactions to both of them, so you can check that out and see how I feel about them. And then Black Panther Wakanda Forever made me cry so much. So much I cried. I much prefer the first one to this one, but it is a good film. X-Men First Class. It's good. It's a really good film. I really enjoyed the origin story. I said I'd get back to doing X-Men reactions and I didn't do one since posting this one. 2024 we are finishing off X-Men because Deadpool 3 is coming out, so I have to. And then The Flat Share, White Noise. I only continued watching the show. It was a little bit boring. I only continued watching the show because the main girl kind of reminded me of Emilia Clarke. It's set in London. Speaking of set in London, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. Ted Lasso. Oh, is it too early to say it's one of my favourite shows? Because it's so like polar opposite to Feel Good and Sex Life for College Girls. I'm going to put it in cinema because, you know, those two just made me feel something. Oh, I also have Choose Jackson VP. Ted Lasso is so on the line of them. No, oh my god, Ted Lasso. I binged all 3 seasons for the first time in like the last month. I literally finished it 2 days ago. It made me care about football. What? When he called something as being offside, oh my god, I literally gasped. I was like, oh my god, you know how to play football now. And I love that their like main rival was West Ham because that's the team I support. Or that's the team my family supports, and I just love that. And the team that they are, that's where I went to uni. Crazy. The After Party, White Noise and Schmigadoon. I way preferred both season 2s of both of these shows. The After Party is a murder mystery. I'm hooked already. Tiffany Haddish, I'm still hooked. And each different episode kind of follows like a different genre. The second season definitely was like different genres, kind of like detective story. Then it was like a drama. Then it was like a soap drama. Then it was like, I don't know, an old film. I don't know. Like, I much preferred season 2. Schmigadoon, again, the first season was one musical. The second season was... Here's my little gripe with the show. The first season is called Schmigadoon because it's set in the town of Schmigadoon. The second season is set in the town of Chicago. So it's based on the musical Chicago. And I much preferred that one, but the show's still called Schmigadoon. They're both perfectly fine shows, but I was having less fun than I was having more fun. Does that make sense? The times I had fun were less frequent than the times that I weren't having fun. But something I had a lot of fun with, No Hard Feelings. Honestly, cinema. It was so funny. I was laughing out loud. I was just cringing at Jennifer Lawrence. She makes me cringe because she's just so awkward, so silly, so embarrassing, but so much fun and so funny. And so I loved her and I would love to see her in more things. And then Bottoms. And I'm so sad about this. I'm so sad about it because compared to No Hard Feelings, it's okay. I watched both these films back to back, both past midnight, and usually, you know, the later you get in the night, the earlier in the morning, that's the perfect time to watch comedies. But then I did watch someone's reaction to Bottoms and I started laughing more because I was then remembering the film, and I did like the film, but I'm not abandoning it there. I'm gonna rewatch this film with my siblings, and maybe it'll be more fun when I watch it with more people. That 90s show was also okay. I love that 70s show, and this one was okay compared to that. And anyone I know, I'm like, they're like, oh, I don't know what to watch. I'd say watch that 70s show, but it got taken off Netflix in the UK, so they can't watch it. That 90s show is funny. I love when like the cast from the 70s show come in and you have the woo of the crowd. I did enjoy it, and if there's another season I will watch it. But thankful there's not another season. Sex Education. I loved this show until the 4th and final season, because the grouping of everyone, they were all separated. They weren't even together. People didn't end up together. Dynamics got shifted and I don't even see why. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved Amy and Adam's stories. I've loved their whole arc throughout the whole show. Just the main ones like Otis, Maeve and Eric. I just didn't like the final season, but overall I do really enjoy the show, but not the last season. And then there's Bullet Train, which is okay. I liked it. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, but also enjoyed it. Same with Dungeons and Dragons. Loads of people were hyping it up like, oh my god, this film's so good. Like, if you don't have really expectations for it, like, it's so much better than people thought it was going to be. It was good, it was funny, but I didn't care about it that much. Then the Super Mario Bros. Almost but, you know, it's cinema, but it's almost cinema, but it's so much fun. It's really funny. I'm sat for a sequel, but if there was more of like an emotional core to it, I would be much interested in that. But I love what they did with Princess Peach's character. She was a badass, and I love it. Speaking of badasses, Into the Spider-Verse. Am I gonna get hate for not putting it in cinema? You know what, we'll put the first one in cinema and we'll put Across the Spider-Verse in favourites. Oh, it made me so sad, so emotional within the first like 10 minutes. I love both these films and they're like on the same level. Across the Spider-Verse is just slightly above it because like it made me more emotional. And if it makes me more emotional, you get the edge. Yeah, that's Bruno, I guess. Barbie! Or should I say Barbie and Ken? Or should I say Ken and Barbie? Ryan Gosling stole the show. Yes, Ryan Gosling was hilarious. And he probably had the most jokes and he had the most comedic acting. And yeah, Barbie is that deep. But it was really funny. I loved the music. I saw it twice in cinema. I did a reaction to it. I got the Blu-ray for Christmas, so I'll be watching that in the new year. And I'll be watching all the behind the scenes because I just love that scene of the other Ken where they're dancing to Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I love it. But does it change it to Boys Just Want to Have Fun? I love it. It's so funny. And speaking of something I got for Christmas, I got a Loki plushie thing from my brother who lives in Japan. So let's talk about Loki season 2, which is okay. Loki wasn't one of my favourite shows from 2021 when we got the first year of the Marvel TV shows. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this show. I just didn't love it as much because I hated what they did with Sylvie's character. I absolutely loved the ending to Loki, but again I just felt like there was at least 3 episodes which were just the same thing, where it's just repeating itself over again because we were stuck in this time loop trying to fix the time loom. I enjoyed it, but it just was so repetitive and they ruined Sylvie's character for me. Because they just made her just so one note, and I get it, but there was more they could have done. I don't know, but I loved that they just completely dropped and abandoned the Silky storyline, and also Mobius got on a jet ski, so I'm a happy girl there. Speaking of a happy girl there, who else watched Hunger Games, Battle of Songbirds and Snakes this year? Sexual Snakey there, President Snow. And that's all I have to say. No, I did really enjoy this. I loved the soundtrack. Didn't think I'd say that about Hunger Games film. I love the soundtrack. No, I do. Perfect casting all around. I just really enjoyed it. Want to watch it again when it's free on streaming. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It was fun watching it through. I will never watch it again. I probably will. If I ever attempted a Marvel rewatch, I will probably watch it again. There were funny moments, there were also really bad moments. Let's just skip on by that into The Last of Us, and it's okay. I'm someone that's played the games, and so it's not as fun for me because I know where the whole story's going. It's a great adaptation of the show. I just feel like, no, I'm too harsh on it. I'm way too harsh on that. Sorry. No, I did really enjoy the show. It's just not as fun for me because I know where everything's going. I'm excited for season 2. I don't know if they're going to change anything from the second game. Obviously there's episode 3, there's episode 5. Episode 7 I think. The penultimate episode, whatever one that was. Great episodes, great acting. And then not great episodes, not great acting. The Samurai Turned Pretty. I just watch it for the drama again. Every single show or film that I'm watching, whether there's a love triangle, I don't care. I don't care who they end up with. The girl themselves is not a good person. I don't care about the love triangle. Saying that, I'm Team Jeremiah. Conrad is so mean. He has his reasons to be mean, but Jeremiah's just always there, okay? But I don't care about it. I don't. I really don't. Dead to me. It's okay. I enjoyed the first season. I liked the second season. I didn't like how the third season ended, and that's why it's just in okay, because I'm bittersweet. Don't like bad, sad endings. And then there's School Spirits, which is almost but it's entertaining, I'll give you that. The twist at the end had me shook. I was confused. Like, I was just, like, where it was going, I was just so confused. And then where it went, I was still confused. But I'm intrigued for a season 2. Freedom Rise. Oh, that was such a great film. That was such a great film. Oh, it made me, I loved it. Give me education. Give me teachers caring about students. I love it. Once Upon a Time. Oh, again, cinema. It's cinema or cinema. How crazy is that? I loved it. Safe to say I loved it. And then The Little Mermaid, people absolutely hate on live action remakes of classic Disney stories, and I'm completely on board with you. There's way too many, but when they're done right, like when they're good, they're good. I feel like because with what's in cinema, I have like no negative thoughts with them. So almost but, because I loved it, loved the new music, loved the casting, just loved it. But then there's also like Sebastian and Flounder just look a little weird, and I can get past it, but I can also not get past it. And like the film does feel a little long in some points, but I loved everything new they added. So it's literally like I love it, but I hate it at the same time. Not hate it, I love it, but there's a little thing. Let's go for the Doctor Who's 60th anniversary 3-part special, which I don't normally include TV shows like this, which I kind of just watch on TV, that like air on TV. I don't include them because I don't know why, I just don't. So like the new season of Doctor Who for 2024, I wouldn't include that in a ranking, but I'm including this because it's now partnered with Disney Plus, and it's partnered with Disney. You can see the Disney budget have effect, and they were cinema. All 3 episodes were cinema. The last one with Neil Patrick Harris though, where he comes dancing out to Spice Girls, is so good. If you're a fan of Doctor Who and you've abandoned it because of Jodie Whittaker, you're so mean. No. And Peabody. Honestly, for me, it went downhill since Matt Smith. I know loads of people would say since David Tennant, but Matt Smith is my Doctor, but I know like David Tennant is the world's Doctor, and I'm not disagreeing with you there. And he's back! David's back! Yeah, just watch it, is what I was trying to say. Watch that. If you like Doctor Who, or if you haven't, watch that to get into it. It's really great. And then the morning show, I really liked it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really like shows where they have like a company and they show you the behind the scenes a bit. You see loads of different people that make a morning show, and like the stories and like what goes into it, and then their personal lives. I really enjoyed that, and so I really enjoyed this, and it's Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. But then Yellow Jackets, which is probably one of the favourite things I've watched this year. Oh, I just spoiled the tier. It's favourite. It's such a great show. But saying that, I was way more interested in them as young as teenagers when they're stuck in the wilderness. When they're stuck in the wilderness, I much preferred that compared to the adult story, because whenever it cuts to the adult story and they're trying to like solve a mystery, I don't really care that much. But with how season 3 ended, is it season 3 or season 2? Whatever season ended, the last season we got. Oh, and now you're making me wait for another season. I can't. But if you're stuck out this long, this is everything I watched this year. It's not in any ranking, and that is a lot to get through to rank. I'll tell you what are like the absolute worst things I watched. So the absolute worst things I watched this year, I would say, because there are worse things I watched that I just didn't even really care about watching, and so like they're just bad because I don't even really care. But like some things where I think I could kind of care, like have more of an emotion to. So like You season 4, I really want this show to end, and I know I can end my suffering by not watching it. It's terrible at sticking through shows and finishing them, so that I've come this far, I have to finish it. And then also Secret Invasion, because it had promised to be good, but it was so bad. Like there were some things that were good. I loved the ending. The ending should have been the whole show, but it wasn't. 9 things in my top favourite. I will rank them from, here's my top 10 favourite things of the year. This is including 2023 releases, films not from 2023, and TV shows. So let's go. So in 9th place, my 9th favourite thing of the year, I would say, is True Jackson VP. There's only 2 seasons of it, even though the final season had like 31 episodes. But I'm not that attached to it for that. And then my next favourite thing, I would say, is Feel Good. Again, there just wasn't enough of it. My 7th favourite thing of the year, Elemental. That's crazy. Pixar Elemental. And my top 5 favourite things of the year is as follows. In number 5 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. In number 4 is Barbie. In number 3 is Sex Lives of College Girls. And number 2 is Klaus. And number 1 is Top Gun Maverick. And the crowd goes gasping. The crowd is gasping. Gasp, gasp, gasp. I don't know how, but it is. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I watched it many months ago. And then Klaus is one of out of that whole list, is the most recent thing I've seen. So that is probably why it's high. But it's both of them. The first Top Gun Maverick is so cinematic. Obviously, why am I using that as a thing? It's just so good. It makes me want to cry. And then Klaus is so wholesome and heartfelt. It makes me want to cry. That's how you get to me. It needs to be so something that it makes me want to cry. Not even like so sad it makes me cry, but so something else it makes me cry. But that's everything I watched this year. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it that long, comment down below what your favourite film of the year was, your favourite show that you watched, and anything that I missed that came out in 2023 that I missed and that you'd like to see me watch in my own time or do a reaction to. As a little treat for the new year, I'm going to be starting or making, I haven't even looked into it yet, but I'm going to make a Letterboxd account. What? Because as you can see, there's so many things that I watch that you don't actually see on the channel, and so if you're interested in other things that I watch but I don't cover on my channel that I watch throughout the year, I will be making an account and I will leave the name or the link, whatever, in the description or in a pinned comment. So you can look out for that eventually. Have to set it up and start like logging things that I've already watched into it. I'm thinking that in the new year I might do monthly things that I watched if I watch like quite a few things, or just like halfway through the year. But let me know if you want to see more ranking videos like this, and let me know if there's anything that I didn't see that you want me to see. But thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave it a like. I hope you had a great Christmas and I hope you have a great new year. Thanks for watching and supporting my channel all this time. It means a lot. There's some good things hopefully coming for 2024. But thanks for watching. Bye.